Fit for Life Radio. This is episode number 215. I'm Gary.
I am Will.
We're with Coastal Strength and Fitness, and this week's episode, we're going over our new fall program coming up. So this will be a complete shift. You know, we have little 6-week kind of micros that are then wrapped around a macro of 6, 12, 24 weeks, essentially, right?
What is more than macro?
So,
is there anything above that in that terminology? I don't know. I'm not smart enough to know.
And so, yeah, that'll be something. I don't know, to look that up. We were playing around, with corny names for the program with ChatGPT. Clients, let us know if we should call it the Harvest Your Health 6-week phase.
It's just got Dexter vibe to it,
Harvest Your Health. Fall into Fitness. That's magazine material.
That is a lot of those are magazine material.
The Fall Brawl. Crush the Fat.
Some of those, that second group.
Autumn Annihilation.
I feel like we need some flames on some of these.
Fall Frenzy. Fight the Flab. All right. So there's that's what we're looking at. But let's get into
get down to the nitty gritty,
meat
dude.
And potatoes. So first we'll start with, because so one of the biggest changes we'll do is, and again, it's a balance, right? Of like mainly also like entertainment, different, keep people engaged so they don't get bored. So one way to change is kind of like the format a little bit, how things are being delivered, right?
Yep.
Like you can think of it like this. Yeah, meat and potatoes, right? Like a meal can be like a meat and potato, but you can dice it all up and put it in a bowl, and it's going to feel different than if it's just a whole piece of steak and a whole potato, right?
You can fry the potato.
So it's just, and that's like gives people, different little variety, but you're still getting some good foods.
It allows us to hit a little bit more of a variety of movements, because you can't do everything, right? Like you only have a certain number of days and exercise slots. So like you can't do all the exercises maybe that you enjoy or are you deem effective, right? So it allows us to kind of rotate through variations as well, to hit a different movement or the same movement pattern that something else hits. So it's also good for us to be able to rotate through that as well, on a coaching side.
Yeah. So like one of the kind of days that we do kind of change the format in different phases is Friday. So coming up in this new phase, you're going to see the strength circuits back, right? So Friday
for all my strength circuit lovers,
and that's essentially where it's a circuit fashion. So you're rotating through 5 exercises, but they're not necessarily cardio exercises. There'll be kind of strength resistance-based exercises. So it's a way to get in some kind of cardio move minutes, but you can also, over time, obviously, there's a fatigue component, but you can still kind of, say for the first 2 weeks on the seated cable row in the strength circuit, you can kind of make note of what exercise you're using for the time, and then go up 5 pounds or so, right? So over the time, you're going to be doing more work in that same amount of time.
It's still an opportunity to like get some stimulus. Again, you can go up on some stuff. It just isn't exactly the same as like when we have plenty of time and you're doing 1 or 2 exercises together. Yeah, you can push it a little bit more for sure, and there's no cardio aspect to it, but it still is an opportunity in the week to do these strength type exercises.
And ultimately, people just freaking love it.
Yeah.
Because for one, it does, you get winded, so you get those endorphins from cardio where when your heart rate gets up and elevated, and then it's like super engaging because you have to you're doing different exercises, and you go from a cable row to a core exercise. Your mind mentally, like you're like really engaged and focused, and then it's changes, every week. So people like that. So it's kind of like checks all those boxes for some of those
exactly
things.
what I was gonna say.
And then in the beginning of Friday, we will have like a strength superset with some key lifts that we'll be tracking.
Yeah. So that's actually the biggest change because we haven't done something like that in a long time. It's probably been since COVID happened that we've just had like, here's a main lift or even 2 lifts that we're going to do. And the whole class is just going to
do them. And
we have a larger chunk of time, right? We have about 15 minutes allocated so that, you have plenty of time, even if it's a giant class, you can work up, the weights are available, you can rest, all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it will be the vibe from some of those old school days. So people might like it. Like I said, it's, and it's speaking of meat and potatoes, I mean, especially for our programming in that group setting, these are some of the like great meat and potato exercises for strength, that kind of functional full body, like carry over to real life type stuff, which is so we have the 1-arm push press and the kettlebell deadlift, right? So easy to learn, easy to teach, which then means if you're new, you'll typically can pick these movements. Most people can pick these movements up, which then means you learn them quick, and then you can start focusing on progressing, right? So that will be, man, people are going to love Fridays.
I think Fridays are going to be,
because it's going to be
they're going to be fun.
Hey, everyone's focused on these lifts together, so then it's kind of like a different vibe when everyone's doing that same thing together.
It is a different vibe.
And then everyone is going to move on to the strength circuit together, right? And
we haven't done that before, like that particular setting. So it'll definitely be let's see what happens, but I'm pretty pumped for Fridays right now.
And we like to do these strength circuits because they are very demanding. They will make you sore because of that combination of like the higher reps, the cardiovascular aspect, then you're using the resistance. So they are very demanding, which is why we like it on Fridays, because then most people are off on the weekend. So you have like more days to completely recover.
Yes.
And then start the workout week again, which traditionally, so Monday, Wednesdays are going to be, full body strength, kind of standard supersets and whatnot, mixing in the strength stuff, core stuff, then ending with little random finishers.
Yeah, 4-ish minute finishers.
Then you want to go over Tuesday and Thursdays? Anything to note with those?
Nothing too wild. I mean, Tuesday will continue to be a hybrid day, right? We'll do that strength portion in the beginning, so it's usually 2 stations, and then the cardio portion after that.
And I want to note, if you're someone who's like, whatever, it's a season of life, and you're just struggling to get in the gym, and you can only come once or twice a week. Tuesday's actually be a good day to try to get in if you're kind of like, which day should I make sure to make it in? Because say you can only come once or twice. So the Monday's a little more, like 90%
strength centric, yeah.
Thursday's like, basically all cardio. Saturday's cardio. So Tuesday you're going to get a good amount of resistance and it's almost like 50-50, right? So you get a lot of bang for your buck, and then make it in on like another day. But that's
really
day.
If you made it on Tuesday and Friday, you're actually doing pretty good.
Yeah, it's a good 50-50 split between your strength and conditioning and whatnot. So you get your 2 full body strengths in, plus those move minutes.
Yeah. So really, not bad at all. So Thursdays.
What's the main lift that we'll be seeing?
On what?
I guess on Monday and Tuesday.
So Monday, regular like dumbbell RDL. We had done 6 weeks of like a staggered or Bulgarian deadlift, which is like an RDL with your foot propped up behind you. So we'll be doing a regular RDL and then our dip variation, so our seated dips, and then for people that do have the ability to do them, regular parallel dips. But most people will be on the seated dips.
Oof. Harvesting that health.
Harvest your health. Tuesdays we'll be doing a chest supported row every week, and then all the other exercises we'll kind of swap through some squat variations, some core stuff. We like to do like carries and sled work as well on Tuesdays. So definitely be kind of a grab bag depending on what the cardio looks like too.
That Halloween bag.
I like a gift bag. I'm married to the queen of gift bags. She loves a gift bag. You want to go over Wednesday?
Yeah, Wednesday.
Ooh, my favorite. My favorite and everybody else's least favorite.
Well, I mean, because this is just two kingpin exercises.
I mean, if I had 3 exercises I had to pick, these would be 2 of them for like just doing forever. All right, so the first one, Bulgarian split squat, which
Okay.
I know a lot of people just don't like.
You know what just hit me?
What?
We should write them up. But this sounds like it's funny. I hope I'm not trying to be self-absorbed here. I just literally noticed it. We should Bulgarians.
Bald Gary split squats.
Bulgarian split squat. The old Bulgarian
You better
split
believe I'm
squats.
writing that up next time. People are gonna be like, "Who's Bald Gary?"
Then Tim will be there.
Yeah.
And he'll be like, "Oh, he's in
He
California.
lives in
You wanna
Cali.
know?"
Maybe he'll make an appearance.
The old Bulgarian split squats.
But yeah, so Bulgarian split squats. Quick note on those: you don't have to elevate your foot super high too. I know some people get caught
I mean,
up
it can
thinking.
be out on the new little blocky blocks.
So we got some new blocks that are 12 inches high,
No, I'm
9
saying-
inches high. I'm already messing up, dude.
Are they
And then they're
9?
also I'm pretty sure they are. I think they're 12 inches wide.
Yeah.
And 9 inches tall.
That girth.
And then we're also getting some other boxes that are a little bit higher that we might also use. And we have our 12-inch boxes too that we usually use for them. But all I'm saying is if you're short, and like I'll call myself short at 5'8", like you don't need to put your foot on a 20-inch box
Yeah.
or a 20, like you're hurting yourself on the exercise. So just like a little elevation behind you is nice.
Because it just gives you're able to get a little deeper
Yeah.
stretch, right? Like, and I mean, that's a way to progressive overload it over time too, is then you can work to higher and higher ones. But even then it starts to be like,
Yeah, it starts to be diminishing though.
Yeah.
At a certain point, it's like go to a place that is decently demanding range of motion wise, and then just get stronger there instead of doing the game of, well, maybe I should try to up my height, and then you have to kind of restart how
Yeah.
heavy you're going. So
you know what I want to know? Because I've started, like, you know how, so I like to put my foot flat on a rear.
like on the top of your foot,
Yes.
Yeah,
And then,
same.
and then some people
plant
like,
their toe.
and bend, but that literally hurts me. And
It's probably because you got poor toes,
I wonder
dude.
if some people's toes can like bend more, because I'll see some people.
What do you? Oh, hold on. What do you mean? Do you mean it's like still on top of the foot, but it's on the toes? Show me. Wish you guys could see this.
So that's how I like to do it.
Yeah. That's how I do it too. Yeah. See, I don't like that either. Not that it hurts, but I feel like I end up using my back leg way
Yeah.
more.
I don't know.
Like I kind of push through the toe a little bit more. Whereas when I have the foot flat,
Yeah.
then I'm able to just focus on my front leg, and then the back leg's just like stability and to make sure I don't fall over.
I just saw a picture of split squats. It might have even been from our gym, and like one person had it the other way and one person had it. And it doesn't matter, I don't think.
I think sometimes it's
some
just
people say you can have more control over the one, but I just physically can't get and stay in that position with my toe, with my foot.
I think it's a comfortability thing with a lot of people. Like some people, when their foot's flat,
That
like
hurts
like
them,
we
yeah.
like, it makes their arch cramp. And then vice versa, people when they plant the toe like you, it just hurts and doesn't feel very good. So I'm sure that there's a pro and a con to both in terms of what you get out of it, but
Do the one that you're most likely to stick with exercise
exactly,
and harvest
if
that
it's
health.
like more if it's more comfortable and you're able to like not have it in the back of your head that like this sucks, then do the one that allows you to live in that space.
Yeah. Then we have for the upper main
I mean, you can't beat it, right?
slight incline dumbbell.
Just
bench
a little,
press.
a very slight incline.
Which the reason for that is it puts most people, everyone's can have different builds, like in the sizes of your actual rib cage and stuff like that. But in general, it puts people in a little bit better position for like their shoulders.
I think it does. Overall, there's gonna
yeah.
be some people it doesn't, but I like it. So that'll be good. That's probably one of the only exercises where nobody is like, are we done doing bench press
Yeah.
yet? Like everybody likes it. Everybody likes to push on it. I'm sure there's one person that can be like, oh, I hate it. But overall, it's just it's a grand slam.
Yeah.
No matter what, no matter who you are, you probably like to do some bench press. So
And then Thursday, main cardio day.
yeah, we'll be changing up not completely, but here and there. Because we're doing circuits on Fridays, we'll be doing some like not circuit type stuff
Yeah.
some Thursdays,
Yeah.
just so it doesn't seem so samey of like, we did circuits yesterday, we're doing
Yep.
circuits today, but it'll still accomplish the same thing. So we might have like an AMRAP, right? But the reps that we're asking are going to be longer duration anyways. So it is something that's going to take you 60 seconds, 90 seconds, whatever it is, but you're kind of moving through at your own pace. So we still put you into this box of kind of where we want your intensity to be on
Yeah.
something like this. So it'll feel a little bit different. But that'll be the change on Thursdays.
Cool. And the last thing I want to touch base on is, something we've been talking about that we want to do a better job of is, creating wins for people and being able to acknowledge and recognize their fitness improvements.
Yes.
So in the phases, like kind of and this, again, we want people to enter with the mindset not of competition, but of challenge with yourself and tracking. So just ways to have a baseline, have a benchmark to then compare to.
And then we can improve.
And then improve, especially over time. So yeah, we're gonna kind of have little challenges, benchmark challenges. It's I don't want to say sprinkled in there because they're not gonna be random. We want to have one, have it at the beginning and then have it again later on to test. So what do you have lined up there? I mean, I know we have all our classic ones. So, we have our classic ones, which we'll obviously use. And then
Yeah, but it won't all be those.
always, we want to sprinkle in different ones. But
I mean, I've been playing around. I like a goblet squat challenge. We're not doing goblet squats this 6 weeks, so we won't be doing it then. But that is one that I do want to do because it is such a core movement. I've got a cardio one that I've been thinking about. It's kind of like, do you remember we did I don't know, what did we call it? The gauntlet, where we did like all of the different cardio machines.
Yeah.
Something like that, but maybe toned down a little bit because that was pretty intense.
I know one thing, and we haven't completely, ironed it down, but we've talked about it's kind of like first one of the main lift strength ones, like a rep challenge type deal, something like that.
Yep.
So a lot of times with challenges, it's logistical, of like, okay, how can we get everyone to do this?
Yep.
And
that's a lot of what we have to consider. Some people might ask like, oh, why don't we do this? Because it seems so simple, but we have to think on the scale of like, can 24 people do this in our 45-minute class with the equipment we have? So there is a lot of layers to it that we have to consider when we do challenges and things like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're right. Like rep challenges for some lifts would be a perfect way to do it.
With kind of like a given weight. So there could be tiers of weight. So like a 20-pound dumbbell or a 40-pound or 60-pound. And, you pick one and then you may only get 3, which is fine.
And you're trying to improve that over time.
Yeah. So you may get 15, whatever. But yeah, just some benchmarks to then kind of bring light those wins that people have that they may not always realize. And then for us, it also too, like we want to like shy away from like 1 rep maxes and things. That, right?
Which we haven't done a ton of, but it's still it'd be good to just solidify that, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not something we really care about. It's cool to test, honestly, once a year maybe for people, but a lot of people don't care, and for a lot of people it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And
for most of our clients in the real world, most people you need somewhat. Like if you ever, rep, like more than 1 rep.
Yeah,
right?
you need some bit of, we'll call it endurance with a lift more than a 1 rep max.
So, and for the most part, even up to like they know, like if you improve your 10 rep max, it improves your 5 rep as well, right? So,
so really what you're telling me is if you get stronger, you get stronger.
Yeah, and it's just a little safer, right? When you start using weights that are like 3, 2, 1 RMs, you're risking.
The risk is way higher.
And there's no real actual reward.
And there's a reason, I don't know if you've been coming to the gym a long time, we don't do that very often at all. Yeah. I would say the only thing that we've done below 3 reps recently has been a dumbbell snatch, which due to the nature of the exercise is generally fine, but it's still, and we go over it when we are doing the exercise, like it is more risky. You have to be more careful. You have to be very mindful and you have to be dialed in when you're doing it. You know, you have to respect something. But other than that, I mean, we're staying above 5 reps normally for everything.
Yeah.
So, and it's just safer that way. You know, a lot of 1 rep max stuff, unless you're competing, like it's just kind of ego stuff, which is fun to flex
Yep.
when you're younger
Yeah.
and more bulletproof. But like as you get older and you just don't want to get hurt and you want to feel good, it's not worth it. Because like imagine you're trying to do 500 pounds on your trap bar deadlift and you're 55 and you like blow a disc out.
Yeah.
Well, now everything sucks. Now you got to probably get surgery or whatever. And it was that even remotely worth it?
Yeah.
So those are the things that we try to think about for you guys.
Got to harvest your
We
health.
we're trying to harvest everyone's health.
All right, so there you have it. Upcoming
Oh,
fall
God.
workout program, the changes. Let us know.
Yeah, feel free to ask some questions. There'll be some new stuff too. We don't have to go over it right now. You'll see it upcoming.
Fall,
So
that fall into fitness.
you're gonna fall into getting your health harvested. That's what's gonna happen.
It sounds like we need to. Now we're gonna have to put a explicit warning.
I know.
That sounded just too fallish,
Yeah,
real nasty.
yeah, nasty.
All right, hit us up, socials.
Or just
Let us know.
grab me in the gym.
Grab Will
If
at
you're
the
at
gym.
the gym, just like, hey, that sounds great. Or this is gonna be the worst 6 weeks of all time. You could tell me anything. You guys know I don't care.
All right, thanks for listening.
Catch you next time.